Alright, ladies and gentlemen, streamers everywhere, stream watchers everywhere. This is Saturday night. The name of the game is City of Heroes. And we're going to once again have the adventures of HEMA Girl. Now, last week, we did some missions for Elite, and we did some missions for Data. We're going to continue on this path of doing all the missions for the City Hall FBSA groups. We're going to, and since Data had some little crossover with SERAPH, which is the Scientific Experimentation, Research, and Application to Paranormal Humans, say that 3 times fast, we're going to start with them. Today we might get to a GIFT, which is another group. We'll see how it goes depending on the time. Now this is the group for science heroes, your Spider-Mans, your... why am I blanking on one for... I think the Flash would be an example of a DC science hero, because I believe in most of his incarnations his powers came as a result of a science experiment. So people would change from like the sciences like chemistry, biology, that kind of thing. So... This is Jonathan Jates, John Smythe. And, alright, so real quick I'm going to just link it up to another Discord that I know. One moment, please. Where are you? Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. But I am... not very organized. I'm still new to this. Okay, let me just put Twitch back on my second monitor. Okay, so we are in business. So, here to go to... Okay, so Jonathan Jates Smythe says here, we're here to do some good for the city. And more good than my speaking right now. He has our file with natural-based brute powers. Brute is the class that I have for HEMA Girl. It is... kind of not quite a full-blown tank, not quite a full-blown melee DPS, kind of in the middle. Okay, and originally in City of Villains, City of Villains, because originally the classes, the archetypes or classes, were in 2 different, or divided. Heroes had some, villains had another. So originally only villains could be brutes, and brute is kind of like your Hulks. Hulk is kind of a tank too, but this was designed as more of a Hulk type. The more the fight goes on, the more damage you do. Okay, so let's begin. So before we begin, let's find out more about Jonathan St. John Smith here. He is a brilliant researcher. His inventions have been a great help to the Paragon City and its heroes. Works for SERAPH, which we already know, part of the FBSA. And he does scientific experimentation for science-based heroes. And he is fascinated with the Vasilok, and we're going to be talking about the Vasilok because if I remember correctly, the Vasilok are part of this. HEMA Girl does not know that, of course. She thinks that she's going to find out more about the clockwork. But I don't think that's going to happen. So, that's why she's chose SERAPH as her next stop. So, we're going to SERAPH. And Jonathan says it's come to his attention that there have been kidnappings by creatures that have been described as zombies. And normally this would seem to be Magi. Magi is the group that goes with, of course, magic-based. But they say that they're not magic. So Jonathan says, well, maybe they're made by science. And he finds that rather fascinating and interesting. So we're going to talk to a witness, Iris Parker. Mrs. Parker, if you're nasty. And we're going to do that. We're going to... I can only imagine what foul den these creatures come from. I know! Should I spoil that for you? Let's find out together. I do know about these guys. The Vazalok. And if you already know City Heroes well, you know them too, because they are pretty well-known villains for low level. They don't do much in high level, but they are mentioned in the villain side at mid-level, which is the 20s and 30s. And it's interesting because that kind of takes place after what are the task force? Are they task forces in Hero Side? Yeah, they're task forces. Task forces we aren't going to do in this stream series. Maybe we might, but probably not. So real quick, what a task force is, it's basically group teaming on a mission arc. It's designed for groups. And you're kind of locked into the group for the entirety of the arc. But they don't really get a lot of play unless you're the weekly group. Even with role-playing groups, like I am in the unofficial role-playing server for the Homecoming server network. Even then, I will probably have a hard time finding groups to do these level by level. So, probably won't be doing them. I do remember the one that's close to our level off the top of my head, because I have played that one a lot. So I can always go over some lore bits if needed. But like I said, we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to talk to Ms. Parker. So she was walking back from the grocery store. Out of the sewer, a horrible creature appeared. Rotted, gray flesh, skin covered in stitches. She feared for her life, but the creature didn't go for her. It went for Michael Thompson, who runs a newsstand near where she lives, and dragged him into the sewer. So she's going to tell us where that happened, so we can go and rescue that guy, if we can rescue him. Maybe it's too late. Hopefully not. Oh, I forgot, ladies and gentlemen, HEMA Girl has a hero costume now. So, during her downtime, she went with some of her groups in her Society for Creative Acronym team people, and they made this armor for her. It is, I believe it's called a Brigandine and maybe a Gambeson, but I'm not sure. I don't quite remember the difference right now. But it is armor. It doesn't look like armor. It has leather on top, but there is a fine bit of chainmail underneath. And as you can see, she has a mask on. So Ms. Parker, we're just going to say that she wore this on her way to Ms. Parker. I forgot about that. HEMA Girl would not have. But as you can see, she's got some Brigandine, and it is white and brown. Just a color scheme I thought you don't often see in Heroes, because kind of like white and darkish burnt brown. And let me turn real quick so you can see. Her crest, her symbol is what is called a lion rampant. I'm going to put on her. You can see, and she has a new shield. It's painted. It's with lacquered paint. Actually, it's lacquered paint, and it's got a little bit of what's truck bed liner, because truck bed liner is, if you remember from watching Mythbusters, it's really good somehow at stopping damage from explosions. So she's chosen that and her sword. It's still a wooden sword, even though it sounds metallic when she sheaths it, because that's just how City of Heroes rolls. But it is painted to look like a real sword. It's still wooden. She does not kill. And speaking of, we might have a little side series that goes along with this. We'll go on that detail later. So this foul odor is definitely not just the sewage. We can see these little scary looking dudes. Two of these look like zombies, but this guy kind of looks more like a butcher with really raggedy clothes. Maybe he's an innocent, so we're going to go after these zombies first. Why is he trying to buy that? He said that they're going to down, body right down, and he's attacking us with a crossbow. He must be part of whatever's going on, and as we can see, he's got his weird kind of stitched together flesh as well, but he doesn't look as rotten as these zombies. Something's definitely weird going down here. We can see more of them and more of those odd scientists. I should have combined them to make a heal, but we're gonna just we're gonna turn off that. We're gonna wait for a little bit to heal because I forgot to heal. Actually, I should rest. So I haven't used rest yet. So rest is basically take a knee, take a quick breather. Hopefully they don't see me. I don't think they will. And you can see I can recover much quicker. Alright, now let's get back to it. It's like I said, a brute. The more they fight, the more damage goes up. You can see that third meter. That's kind of like a rage meter. Oh, I've aggroed 2 mobs. This gave me problems last time, but I'm still at the default difficulty. And as a melee with lots of defense, I should be fine. Okay. Oh, 3 mobs. Now we're in flavor country. Okay, I'm in the clear. So one thing you can do with these inspirations I didn't mention before, and again, veteran players, I know you know this. I'm saying this for anyone new to the game. You combine 3 to make any other kind of the same ability tier. I'm gonna make one that's a healing, so I can heal up a little more, so I don't have to take a knee. You're gonna see me doing that a lot, probably. And I'm gonna bonk him with my sword a little more. That little kick. That little... I forgot to change that, so it's not something that looks lethal. Okay, so we're not finding Michael Thompson in here, but we want to make sure that we don't have any more repeats of kidnappings. So we're going to be thorough. Okay. There should be no other ways from this one. Like I said, I do use the map a lot to help me get by. I'm a little thrown off by this format, because usually with these kind of rooms, there's no other way in or out. This has been a while since I did the SERAPH missions. Weird. This isn't bugged, is it? Please don't tell me it's bugged. Or maybe... You know what? There's probably a body somewhere that I'm missing. So let me just exit out. It's probably around... Aha! Found him! I usually forget they sometimes have mobs in this little cubby. And now I can see that this scientist has like skulls and stuff. Don't know what they wanted. They never said anything. They're very careful not to hurt me though. And the men in the medical mask have talked about taking me to see a doctor. What kind of a doctor's in a sewer? This isn't the incredible side series to Yakuza known as Judgment. Why is a doctor in a sewer? We'll find out. And I'm going to move this a little closer to the middle because that kind of bugs me. I don't know why that keeps happening. Okay. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, off stream, I spent an hour in what's known as Pocket D. We're not gonna go there if we can avoid it on this stream. It does get saucy, and I don't know how much of that will appear on outside of the good old chat window. So I'm not gonna take any chances. It can get a little saucy in the D, as I'm pretty sure most veteran players know. Okay, so we're going to go back to Jonathan St. John Smythe. His name is my name too. No, it's not, but... Back to Atlas Plaza. And HEMA Girl's outfit, the little I've planned this character out, probably going to change a bit as we go on and she faces tougher people. Like I said, she's got a layered chainmail, which will probably work for her for the meantime against, you know, people who are just having guns and knives and bats. But once she starts getting into more dangerous stuff, she might start having more equipment, maybe even equipment that might not be non-lethal against normal everyday people. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So we did our job. Let's see what Jonathan has to say. So, they were handling him with care. Well, that could mean a lot of things, most of them not good. He wants to know more about this doctor they mentioned. So we're going to investigate that, and we know who that is. He wants us to learn more about the heroes of Paragon City, so, let's do that real quick. And then we'll get back to the investigation into these strange zombies. So, we're going to reflect on the heroes of Paragon City. I think this is the same, yeah, this is the same as the one before it. So we've already done one exactly like this before. So we all know, if you watch my last stream, we know about Atlas. So one name that you're going to hear a lot, possibly, I don't remember exactly how much the specific name comes up. The Surviving 8. Those were the 8 heroes who remained active and alive after the Ricky War. We covered the Ricky War last stream. So yeah, we already know all this. I think there's 6 or 5 of them left. But they were basically the 8 most signature heroes when the game started. One of them was Statesman, who I believe I mentioned before. He's one of those that died. Statesman, kind of like the Superman of City of Heroes. And I'm going to just pause real quick. So, Statesman was, like I said, the Superman of this. He got his powers from what's known as the Well of Furies. It's basically this kind of like mystic, kind of like a mystic force that basically granted him the powers of Zeus. He became the incarnate of the Greek or Roman. I always get these mixed up. I'm going to say Greek god Zeus. I always get these two mixed up, so I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's Greek. Zeus. And Zeus, you know, lightning guy, but also really powerful. So he had the super strong, super powerful guy. He saved the world countless times, even in the Ricky War. He was instrumental in keeping up that fight. He didn't finish it. Hero 1 did. We'll probably talk more about... I think we did mention Hero 1 before. He was the shining beacon of Paragon City up until his very last day. Like I said before, we knew about this before. Atlas was a great man. He stopped the Fifth Column from taking over Paragon City. Paragon City, by the way, for those who don't know, is in Rhode Island. So it's on the East Coast. Okay, so Hero Core pulled some strings. We'll talk about Hero Core on the way. And they're asking for the data we collected on the Vazlock. We're going to comply with that. We're going to talk to Henry Peter Wong of the Hero Corps. So Hero Corps is one of two non-governmental groups that do often operate inside Paragon City and elsewhere. Freedom Corps and Hero Corps. So you're going to see a lot of people in red and white around in uniform. They are part of the Freedom Corps group, subgroup known as Longbow, and they're basically a private army that is managed by Ms. Liberty, sorry. She's the one that we see in front of Atlas Parts. They are kind of like, they operate as a police force in Paragon City. In Etoile, they operate rather differently, but we're not going to get into that. We will get into that if I do my planned sequel to this series. We're going to get into Longbow and kind of the weird things they do. But I'm pretty sure most of you who are familiar with City of Heroes know full well what I mean. Hero Corps is... they mostly stay out of direct combat. They're a private military corporation. They are for profit. They take they work with the FBSA, mostly as consultants and trainers. They, like I said, they do not do much officially field work. Officially being the important word there. I may be mistaken on that. It has been a very long time since I deep dive into a lore like this. So he thanks us for the corporation. He's the corporation. Cooperation in the matter. So instead of making this a instead of having to owe SERAPH a favor, he's gonna return it right away. He's gonna let us know more about the Vazalost. We don't know that name yet, or HEMA Girl doesn't. So he already knows quite a bit about these people. Interesting. So they have a secret research lab. And he's sure we'll have no problems wiping it out. And getting some more info for both SERAPH and the Hero Corps. So that's kind of their presence, mostly as information brokers, intelligence. They don't do much of the heavy lifting. They sometimes do get heroes to do the heavy lifting, but they directly don't. Usually, and like I said, that is usually officially. Okay, so we're in this Cavern Network. There are a lot of caverns like this. I've never been that far up the East Coast, so I don't know how accurate this is. I've been told it is a lot more accurate than I would think. I'm from Florida. We have some caves in, I believe, Central Florida, but we don't have a lot where I live in Florida, because we're mostly coral reef. In this case, he's got some weird device on him. And it's a bomb, by the way. But HEMA Girl doesn't know that. HEMA Girl's not gonna find out yet. Ooh, Dr. Vazlock is most pleased. Think we're gonna save the day? He thinks not. We think yes. That shield bash. So, before creating this character, and kind of the reason I've been creating this character, I've been actually learning a lot about historical European martial arts and what people have gathered about it. And one of the things I've gathered is shield bashes don't work that weren't normally done that way. They would use the edge of the shield because that would be more force because you're putting the same amount of your strength into a very, very much smaller point of impact. So it would provide much more force, from my understanding. Oh, there we go. So yeah, these are very expendable zombies to this Dr. Vazilok. So we're gonna make sure that this Hawaiian shirt wearing dude don't fall like that. Good job taking care of these nut jobs. Yep. So for those of you who are here the first time, you can see I'm not getting experience. I've blocked myself at my experience level right now, so I can do all these missions. And I will be doing that many times in this series. I'm going to take a sip from my cup now. Anyone who is very sensitive to that kind of thing, just like be aware of that, because I'm going to do that in 3, 2, 1. Okay. One of my favorite YouTubers, Kyle Hill, he really doesn't like the sound of chewing. And I don't know if he said anything about swallowing, but there are some sounds like that that are very sensitive to him. So I'm just making sure that people who may have that same kind of condition, I'm trying to be courteous to them. If I forget, I'm very sorry, but I'll try not to forget. So we're going to go back. My throat is very dry today, so I may have to do a couple more sips before this stream is over. I don't quite know why it's very dry today. It is getting a little warmer. And I do have an air vent in this room, but I'm not really feeling a lot of air right now. I have central air. And if any of you fans are if you guys are pinball fans, I also do a pinball stream after this, usually around 10. Well, I say usually around 10. I did it almost exactly 10 last week, and it's only been a week, so I plan to do it around 10. So I'll take a break after this, and then play some video pinball. So let's see. Miracore has steered us in the right direction. He doesn't understand why they didn't take care of this cave themselves. So he's given us his number and said he'll give us some new trinkets in his lab, which we won't take advantage of because those are mostly science, and I think the dual origins are science tech and science mutants, so we won't be going for those. I will try to sell some stuff to him though. Do I want to use... off stream I did buy some enhancements, and I'm not gonna use that damage one, at least for a while. Oh crap. Back up. And I'm going to sell this carbon rod too, because I'm not going to use that for a while yet. Okay, So sorry about that. I'll try to keep my selling stuff to off stream when possible. Just wanted to show that off for any newcomers. Okay, up first with action. Sure, why not? Just got a tip that some men calling them the Disciples of Vazalok, we've been hearing that name a lot lately, are planning a conference in the secondary sewer section. Don't know what they're after, but they look like they are linked to these biomechanical zombies that have been terrorizing the populace. So let's go to ZombieCon! ZombieCon 22! You'll be hearing from all kinds of zombies, like the ones from Dead Rising. And the zombies from George Romero movies. I also try to figure out what they're doing too. So we're gonna hunt some zombies. We're gonna go to ZombieCon. I didn't get to finish my zombie costume for ZombieCon, but let's hope they'll still give me some swag. Okay. Medical notes float in the filthy water alongside medical paraphernalia and waste. Interesting. Hey! Stop littering! I know this is a sewer, but you can't just leave that stuff around like that. Flushable does not mean you should flush it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Flushable wipes are actually very bad for sewer systems. By the way, that's actually a real thing. Don't use flushable wipes. Totally. Oh, we got some science equipment here. That looks rather clean for being in a sewer. Huh. Horrible presentation notes. So, we got some wild medical notes that doesn't look like they are made by any doctor who cares for the sanctity of human life. They describe horrible techniques for using artificial means to animate the body. And they look pretty recent. Stop doing science down here. This is a very, very filthy place. Your samples are going to get contaminated. You especially should not be doing surgery here. I don't think I ever mentioned this in the stream, and again, everyone who's played City of Heroes knows this, but people with white names, they are the equal level equivalent to me. Yellow name means 1 higher. Orange means 2. Red means 3. Purple means 4 or more. Oh, there's a hostage. We better take care of that. She is gonna need a shower. I mean, so am I, but they were gonna vivisect her. Wow, that's a keynote speech for ZombieCon 22. Alright, we're gonna rest up a little bit because I'm low on health. I should probably give that a health up enhancement so I regen faster. Because like I said, I do more damage the more I attack often. Oop. I should be close to the end of this mission anyway. Huh, that wasn't the end. Let's see if I missed anything. This looks like a dead end. Yeah, this is a dead end. You're going to be seeing a lot of sewers in this, by the way. Sewers are a very popular map type in City of Heroes, especially in randomized missions, which we probably won't be doing quite a ton of, but maybe we will. We'll find out. We'll find out together in this magical journey of ours. Aha, here's some more. Okay. Boom. Okay. I'm gonna sip again. 3, 2, 1. Okie dokie. Okay, so we broke up ZombieCon 22. And it's terrifying to think of this Dr. Vasilok. Human experimentation, animating the dead. He must be a madman indeed. Someone gave me a candy cane. Let me thank them, and I know they're not going to be able to see what just happened because I'm covering up the chat window with Googly Burger, but that's to keep the saucy out of there. And that little beep was me doing a private message to a person who gave me a candy cane. Okay, so and I might use that to fund some enhancements in the future of the grim future of off-stream play. Because I do play this off-stream. I'm not going to touch HEMA Girl much off-stream because that would kind of defeat the purpose of me showing you guys everything there is to see here. Several wealthy citizens have disappeared in the last few days. That's hardly unusual in this town, but there's been no ransom notes. So we're going to investigate those because got a bad feeling about that. Oh, all these people had fatal illnesses. That's very weird. Now you might see in the very far left a little speech bubble, and it says HEMA Girl likes to tussle with the zombies. So one of the really cool little details they have about this game. Sometimes regular civilian NPCs will talk about the things that you've done recently, which I always thought was a nice touch to immersion in this game. And my role-playing group, we do try to mention this from time to time to hilarious results often. Like, we'll have just done a mission with the idea that we're doing this while nobody's watching, and then some random person talks about how we've already done it. And we point out the ridiculousness of it. Okay, so We're going to investigate some disappearances. People who have fatal illness. There's some sick laughter in the distance. That can't be good. You must be in the right place. Wow, these guys are 2 levels below me. Equivalent. I mean, they literally are 2 levels below me, but they're basically level 2 encounters. They're minion level. There are minions here. So a minion would be a minion of the level I'm at 4 would be a level 4 bot enemy. Lieutenant of level 4 would be like a level 5 enemy. He doesn't want to be a zombie. Yeah, that I can understand, you know. Not gonna kink shame, but that's not for me. Lady Canuck is one of my friends, global friends. I'm not gonna look that up right now, but I will check that later. Let me make a private note of that. So 1 second while I open up Notepad and to remind myself that. So okay. Sorry about that. We're really hurt. We're really hurt. Heal. Heal. I don't think... Oh, that guy's coming down. They will chase you. Good heroing. Okay. That guy doesn't know how to get down either. I'm looking at the Twitch window, and because like I said, it's 5 seconds behind. I believe I mentioned that before. It's got like a 5-second latency, and I can still see him like moving around. It's hilarious, really funny. So the woman I rescued. He approached... Oh, you know what? I think that was the last mission. I didn't check that. Approached me not because of my money and because of my illness. Dying of cancer. And Vaslok said he could give me eternal life, and all he wanted was a lot of money. I was desperate, so I gave in. But then she found out what they were going to do to her, which was turn her into a zombie. Alright. So Vaslok convinced these people to hand over their fortunes in exchange for eternal life. The life few people would ever want. It's really sad that he would do this. But I guess that's what I should expect from such a demented person. So I believe that's his last mission. And it is. For now. So, Dr. Vaslok is... How do I put this? He's kind of like Herbert West, if you're familiar with the work of H.P. Lovecraft. He's kind of like Herbert West and Frankenstein and all those kinds. He tries to conquer death and ends up making horrible zombies. And those butcher apron-wearing dudes who work with him, those are some of his allies who believe in his goal and don't care about the horrible things that they're doing. Some of his zombies are intelligent. Not very intelligent, but they are actually intelligent. And they even have some superhuman abilities. We haven't met those yet, but if we do more Vaslaw stuff, which we will see those. So, we've spoken to Jonathan St. John Smythe. His name is my name too. We're going to try GIFT now. GIFT is the Genetic Investigation and Facilitation Team. These are the groups that work with the mutants. That's the X-Men. Trying to think of any mutant heroes of DC. I can think of some mutant villains. Killer Croc. And I'm kind of drawing a blank on how did Beast Boy get his powers? I don't remember. Beast Boy might be a mutant. I don't quite remember. Well, we'll stick with Killer Croc because I know for sure he's a mutant. But they're born with their powers. But unlike natural origin heroes, they gain their powers around their puberty, and the difference between someone who is born with their powers as a natural origin and as a mutant origin, basically everyone for a natural origin, everyone can do what a natural origin does. For a mutant, that's them and them only. So, like My Hero Academia, even though 85% of the world have superpowers, they would be considered mutants because their powers are individual to each other. Whereas if, say, Superman, the reason why he's not a mutant, any Kryptonian exposed to a yellow sun can do what he does. So we're going to talk to Prince Kiros Nandelu, I believe that's pronounced. And he's going to... Alright, so he's glad that he's working with us. Alright, so let's find out more about him. He is a actual African prince. That's what it says. Honest to goodness African prince. I'm just paraphrasing what they're saying. Honest to goodness African prince. So, not some weird scam. Guess that's the Jack Emmertism. Jack Emmert was the guy who created this game, by the way. He's kind of weird. Kiros Nandelu was given an ambassadorship to America when his mutant powers were discovered. Okay, so he's kind of like a mutant version of Black Panther. He can see into the ultraviolet and infrared spectrums. So, wasn't useful enough to make him a hero in his own right, but it did make him useful to the FBSA. And so he works with GIFT. And he also works as an ambassador to his unnamed country. So, a group of gangs have taken over an abandoned office in one of my old neighborhoods. It's probably the Hellions. They're always looking over to take new territory in their ongoing war with the Skulls. So can we go to that office and break them up? And it turns out that he used to be part of a gang that used his powers to do whatever he could. So he'd like to try to stop that. I don't think the Hellions have many mutants in their ranks. There is a gang that's mostly mutants. And we will not meet them in this mission set, but we will in the future. Now the Hellions, for those who didn't catch my last stream and are new to City of Heroes, they are your satanic panic kind of villains. They worship the devil. They listen to that evil rock and roll music like Rolling Stones, and they play Dungeons and Dragons. Not really, but you get the vibe from what I'm saying. That's their whole kind of deal. They're the satanic panic guys. Overhearing this chatter. This sounds like skulls, not Hellions. And sure enough, we see some skulls. And we met the skulls before. One thing I forgot to mention about the skulls last stream, they are kind of a death cult in their kind of gang culture. Quick, but do we have any new insights? No, we don't. So, no Hellions there. And as I said before, Dallas Park is mostly Hellion territory. King's Row is where the skulls tend to be. So we're gonna go back to Kiros. I'm sorry. I am seeing in the chat window. I did miss. We did find a small sample of Superidine. So we already know about Superidine from our last stream. It's a drug that makes you strong, makes you really powerful, but also turns your skin green, gives you horns, and makes you kind of really, really dumb. Take too much of it, you'll be permanently altered. You'll become one of a group known as the Trolls. We will meet them later too. And as we said, Prince Kiro says the skulls shouldn't be in Atlas Park. They usually operate in King's Row. So we're going to talk to Jose Broken again, and he's going to take a look at this sample as well. He's probably going to tell us what we already know from working with, I believe it was Elite. Yeah. From our time with Elite, we already know about that. We might have time to do Magi before the end of this. Because we're already flying through. We've already did all of SERAPH. We are... How far are we? Well, not very far, I guess. Okay. So yeah, there's more skulls sniffing around Atlas Park, Jose tells us. He thought that was a rumor, though. So he wants us to find this warehouse that he's heard about. Take a look in there. Okay, so like I said, so Dine, new quotation marks, new in comic book time. Euphorian strength, leave their whole body aching. Muscle spasms and skin diseases are a side effect. I forgot about that part. That yeah, you do have you do have other side effects. You don't go green right away. Once you're really deep at it, you start going green. And right, so the Skulls are looking to set up shop in Atlas Park. And remember, folks, drugs are bad. Just ask Captain America. So. This warehouse that's... Ooh, this is definitely a gang warehouse. Shaped like a residential building. I think these were mapped in the older days to warehouses in Galaxy City, and they just didn't get ported over to warehouses in Atlas Park because the missions with Atlas Park that had to do with warehouses, they have their own little thing going on. You'll see what I mean later. I don't think on this stream, but maybe next stream or the stream after, we'll start getting into the warehouse district of Atlas Park, which has some very scripted events. So let's take a look at this desk here. Oh, we got a key. So, yeah, they did try to do this kind of thing where they would have doors locked off by keys. And this was kind of weird because when they first started doing this, stalkers, which are kind of like the really sneak kind of characters, the only ones with dedicated stealth abilities, they weren't playable as civilian heroes at the time. So it's kind of weird that they would even do that. I guess they wanted to train you into hunting down objectives. So maybe that's the reason for it. And as you can see, I'm making more health ups. And you can see that sickly green glow. They're definitely making something here. All these vats and stuff. That's another thing I need to do when off stream. I need to switch out that knife for something else. I mean, if we were going straight up build, knife would be my pick anyway, because knife is really good. But it doesn't fit HEMA Girl to use a knife, so I'm gonna have to change it to something else. Still need to find some evidence, not that we haven't found a ton of glowing green goo. And that ain't Mountain Dew, folks. That is Superidine. Oh, there's another skull. Evidence. Maybe it's behind some of these. They can be hard to find in these warehouse maps. You see. Oh! Once again, the map helps us out. That's why I checked the map. Oh! I can't believe I missed that. We found it! Okay, we found a notebook. Notebook has dates and other numbers. Not sure what those numbers might mean, but that's a good start. Okay, so we don't have his phone number yet, so we're gonna just super jump over. Oh, I forgot, I can do this. Double jump. What double jump isn't literally a double jump, it's basically a limited buff to jump. I can double jump, as you can see. I can also triple jump, quadruple jump, double jump. But it basically makes you better at jump. For a limited time. While supplies last. And that's a new option that was put in with Homecoming. Okay. So, looks like this might be the beginning of a distribution plan. We need to look this over and keep out from our Skull's activity. Thanks a lot for your help, HEMA Girl. You're welcome, Prince Kiros. Okay, so we got a call from McCormick Industries. The Council are scouting their office, looking for a painting called The Lonely Horseman. It's a decent painting, but it's also rumored to be painted over a map of a boatload of gold bullion that's like somewhere off the Atlantic coast. So we're gonna steal that. We're gonna secure that painting. We're not gonna steal it. We're not bad guys. We're going to keep it from being stolen. We're going to take it to Iris Parker. We can get it back to McCormick Industries. She must work with Wetworths. Which is kind of an auction house. Does it come up in the story often? Because it was kind of like middle of the life of the game, if I remember. So, it does have a task force tied to it, but I don't think that was accessed during live. Because that was in an area that wasn't around during live, wasn't completed by the devs anyway. Now we have tangled with the council before. Oh, and the office building is apparently still occupied, so we gotta make sure all these people are safe. They're not gonna do that, but thankfully this isn't the kind of game where we actually have to worry about that. That's just story kind of thing. You can't even target the citizens, civilians. Going up. About the council in our last episode as well. Offshoot of the Fifth Column, which were basically a paramilitary wing of the Nazis. So they're an offshoot of that group that kind of tried to take over their operations in Paragon City, and did. The reason for that was because to get around the rules about portraying Nazis in media in Germany, I believe, and possibly other places in Europe, because at the time where they did that, they were putting City of Heroes into the European market. And turned out to be a good idea in the end, because City of Heroes turned out to be really popular in Europe. In fact, I believe Homecoming servers are based in Europe. Where in Europe, I can't really say for sure, but I know that there's a server that's especially dedicated to European players, and I just went back down. I should have not have done that. And while that wall has lessened, there's still remnants of it today, but we're not going to really get into that because that's more of a gaming trivia thing. But Fifth Column eventually did come back because those laws were relaxed a bunch. They don't have much of a presence in the plot today. They do show up in a little bit, but not a whole lot. I believe they were planning to do more before the game shut down. The official live server shut down. But they never really got to fully implement them. Well, that's the painting, huh? Don't look like any horsemen to me. Looks more like a bunch of pixels. But I'm not an art student. Neither is HEMA Girl. Okay, so this somber painting shows a single horseman looking atop a distant church tower. No, it did not. It is landscape pointing at the ground. According to your contact, this painting obscures a map to a lost cache of gold bullion. There's a couple more councils lurking around here somewhere. Are they on this floor? They might still be on this floor, so we're going to look around. But they might be in one of those areas with open doors that I didn't quite look at. This is a defeat all, so I do have to hunt them down. See them in that. Oh, that's our civilian. No. Let's see. Maybe then there's one of these corners I didn't quite expect. No, not there. Where are they? Oh, there they are. This should be it. I should have had an indicator, but it doesn't always go off. Yep, that was it. Alright, I'm gonna sip again. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So let's take that painting to Iris Parker. This is the auction house, Wentworth's. You don't really need to go into it anymore. Homecoming lets you do that at almost any time. There are exceptions, but there is a command that lets you use it at almost any time. Okay, so we came through on this one. Painting's gotta get returned to its rightful owners. Do I have his number yet? No, I don't. I have to say, it's kind of still amazing to me at times. It's like, when it's live close? I think it was 2012. After all these years, this game's back, and it's so great. I'm still not over it, and I've been playing it in Homecoming for over a year now. The Council is a very dangerous organization, and they've been around long enough to know what they're doing. They attacked Paragon City back in the 50s. No, they didn't. That was Fifth Column. And they were only stopped by the might of Atlas. That was in the 40s. That was not in the 50s. That was in the 40s. You'll see mistakes like this all the time. Even to this day. Oh well. Okay, so they're up to old shenanigans. We'll have to keep your eye on them. Well, our eye on them. Alright, so now we have his phone number. Alright, so we're going to talk to Sarah Peters, who works for the FCC and tracks illegal radio broadcasts. She's intercepted some messages from Council soldiers. They're looking to steal a powerful artifact from the government that they've been trying to protect for decades. So we're going to talk to Sarah Peters. So yeah, that happened in 47. So maybe just we'll just say that the prince kind of forgot that day. Though Atlas is right there in front of him with a giant plaque saying, hey, on this day in 1947. But the prince, maybe he just goofed. Wants to say that. Sarah, how you doing? Okay, so Council's already on the move. Gotta get to the warehouse and find this crate numbered 878932 before they do. And get it to Azuria in City Hall. We will be working with her soon. And it'll be safe there. Good luck in whatever you do. Don't look inside the crate. Are you trying to tell me that it has a very ancient vampire in there? Because I know you're telling me that, but really there's some C4 in there if you're trying to tell me that. Okay, we can hear the boots of the Council on cement floors. I don't think we're gonna look for the ID on the crate. I don't think this is gonna be a defeat all. Lots of crates. Gonna have to look through them all. It's probably gonna be the last one we look at too. Oops, I swapped them by accident. Oh, let's try that one. We're gonna ignore them because I don't need to fight them. They're not in my way, and I don't think this is defeat all. And HEMA Girl just wants to find out straight. Or whatever the council is up to, we need to stop that. That's our priority. Great. Bop. Alrighty. Ah, we found it. Okay. Captured for the council there. Hooray us! We're gonna take it to Azuria. Alright. Thank you. I shall place this in the vault and guard it with the strongest wards. The artifact within is not a thing for mortal or immortal use. You didn't look upon it, did you? Actually, no, I didn't. Alright. So, we're gonna meet Azuria later, but she is the head of Magi, the modern arcane guild of investigation. And we will probably be working with them her in the next week, cause I think we're gonna end it after we're done with Gift. Okay, so she didn't want to speak with this to many people, but Prince Kiros, he's gonna tell us the artifact within was known as a looking lens. Peering into it, you can see the very desires of the people around you. And that's why you had to keep it closed. There's information no one should have. And, oh, this is actually the last mission for him before we hit level 5. So, still got, it's still only about 9:20. Should we do... I will do... We'll introduce... Well, we will introduce Azuria next week. We're gonna end it early this week. Because I want to get Azuria some time to properly introduce her and about Magi, and we might be doing a more involved one next week as well, because we're going to start going into another arc that's outside of the FBSA. So I'm gonna end it here. Do some stuff off stream before I do some before I start doing the pinball. So again, around 10 o'clock, we're going to have Saturday night pinball. We're going to play some pinball. It's going to be a Saturday night party. All my already hit friends are there for pinball night. I guess